Hi, today we're going to talk about some books and some products that we thought you might be interested in. They're health related in many different ways. I want to start with the Salon Pass for Life's Many Pains. There's Salon Pass. And they sent us some to try, and it really does seem to work. There's a spray one here. There's a gel, deep relieving gel. And then there's some with a pain relief patch that you can use. And then there's another one that actually has lidocaine in it, and we use lidocaine for a lot of different reasons in medicine, but it's a great pain reliever. So these are Salon Pass, and you can find them at your nearest store at salonpass.us, where to buy if you want to go on there, or for more information visit salonpass.us. Tony, did you use some of these?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
And in my case, it didn't help much because it was more traumatic, the injury.
Yeah, because yours was actually bone disintegration.
Yes.
This is more for things that are more superficial.
And inflammation.
Muscles and pains and inflammation. Systemic, topical.
Mm-hmm.
And why is it effective, they say? Do you have any idea why it's effective?
No, I think you've got it there.
It's a topical analgesic approved by the FDA's new application process. So they have some new ones. Powerful, proven class of pain-relieving pain actives has existed in over-the-counter pills for years. Let's see, used topically as directed, the medicine can work at the site of pain and not have to be processed systemically, which is good because then it doesn't have to be sent out of your system through your lungs and, things like that.
Nice.
So there's all different kinds if you have a pain to try
Yeah.
Salon Pass. Okay, Mary, over there you have a spray or an oil or something. I think I have the spray here. This is called Lime Green, and it's a body room linen spray. And I've been spraying this whole room because it really
It does. It
smells
great.
terrific.
Yeah,
Wow, very
Yeah, like
nice.
lime.
this is a hair, face, body, and hand oil. It has organic oil, sunflower, sweet almond, olive essential oils, and it smells nice too. And I tried it on, and it really gives your skin a nice glow, and it absorbs nicely. It really helps with the dryness on your hand.
And this one has witch hazel, and it's alcohol-free, vegetable glycerin, and essential oils. And they also have a candle for lime green. That's the color of my rugs, lime green. So,
Yeah, I tried this too, and it's very nice.
very nice.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
works.
and you're critical of things, so if it's very nice for you, it's very nice.
And this,
Okay.
it's not overpowering. The
Now
smell.
here's something else that's interesting. These are called Groove, and these are ergonomic rings for men. And I'm gonna hold this up, but I'm gonna ask Mary to read the back of this so we can tell you exactly what it says.
Groove Ring is designed for you, the athlete, the adventurer, the professional, the trendsetter. Groove is the most stylish, safe, and comfortable ring in the world. It begs to be shown and tested every day. Groove isn't just a ring to be worn, it's a statement to be made.
So that's a nice gift for men, particularly if they're worried about wearing metal or at work, like my husband used to catch on his gun belt and things like that as a police detective. And, metal rings, and I guess plumbers and electricians and that really can't wear metal either. So it's a nice idea. And it comes with several different sizes, so it's a nice gift for men. Jay, our cameraman, is going to be wearing one. Okay. Next, Tony, what's the book about?
Well, this one is a medical doctor, and when I first started reading, I started to look for something related to that, but he's a novelist. So he's written a couple books. So one of them was Blood Notes, a modern biomedical thriller. So if you want to look into the medical profession related to excitement other than
And thriller,
therapies,
scary.
I guess.
And this one is called The Ice Merchant.
This is
so
the
what's
Ice
this
Merchant.
about?
Well, it goes through different chapters of letter through his life and different experiences that he's had, and I think things that he's made up along the way.
Well, do we have a description in here? Because
Description
we don't
probably
get
in
an
the back.
opportunity to read all of these books. But
Yes.
let me see if there's a description on the back here.
Okay.
Deep in the icy hold of Nicholas Van Horn's ship, a grisly cargo awaits its final resting place. On delivery at Galveston's new medical school, makes a ghastly discovery only with the help of a lovely lady scientist who he eventually solved the puzzle his ice holds. He's a scientist and professor at the oldest medical school west of the Mississippi in Galveston, Texas. And it's called The Ice Merchant, if you're looking for a book like this. Okay, so now they know what to look for. I wanted to mention, too, this is about the Scottsdale area. Sally's not here this evening, but Sally and I attended the Scottsdale, well, it was kind of a Chamber of Commerce and travel type thing, and they told us about many different things. This is about the hiking and trail guide in Scottsdale, but many of the different hotels, one has a surfer wave or something. They have all different kinds of opportunities, and I believe it's a training center for one of our sports teams, too, the Cubs. So there's all different kinds of things you can do in Scottsdale if you're trying to get away from the weather. So Scottsdale, Arizona, and Phoenix are both pretty interesting. Okay, Mary, you have something over there. This is for cleaning your face, and I have tried this, and this is a very, I have sensitive skin, so Mary is also, besides being a registered nurse, is an esthetician, and it's called Momo Up.
Yeah, and it's a finger cut that you could use to remove eye makeup remover or lip remover, and it has a lot of natural ingredients in it.
Yeah, because it doesn't cause you to have any problems with, you know, irritation or anything. You want to open one up and show them? Just open one up and show what it is.
So they're nice pads, and
They're moist.
they're
There's
moist.
another picture of Scottsdale, by the way, in case during this winter you're looking for something to do, someplace to go.
Wow.
It's a nice way to
Maybe you
gently-
can do it on your arm and see if it takes any dirt off, because all day long we're out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because all day long we're out in dirt and don't even realize that it's in the air. You want to hold that up and show them what it took off? So it's not only for your face, but it does work very well for face, makeup, and eyes. And it's spelled M-O-M-O,
M-O-M-O
up.
up.
M-O-M-O up. They have another kind also, but that works very, very well. Okay, here's another little picture of where you wish you were right now in Scottsdale, Arizona, when it's cold here. Phoenix and Scottsdale area. We'll be talking more about that on another show when Sally's back. Okay, here is the ultimate cookbook. This is the one for, this is the Karma Chow, plant-based vegan recipes for a fit, happy, and healthy life.
Gourmet cookbook.
Fitness guy. Melinda's is clean and provides me with what I feel to perform better every day. So it's interesting, like there's recipes in here for sunflower seed pate. That's interesting, sunflower seed pate. Sunflower seeds, bell peppers, parsley, basil, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, garlic, Bragg's, low sodium, let's see, what do they have?
Vinegar.
Turmeric, extra virgin olive oil, smoky tempeh chili, succulent salads and delicious dressings. Here's a mac and cheese one. This looks different, like different mac and cheese. And in here we have unsweetened coconut milk or almond milk. That's interesting. Nutritional yeast, garlic powder, onion powder, dry mustard, paprika, cayenne, tahini, black pepper, extra virgin olive oil, and brown rice flour.
People don't realize that, you know, just because you eat healthy doesn't mean that it's not tasty.
Right.
Because they can really make it terrific.
Especially with different herbs and stuff.
Yes.
This is kickin' edamame dip. I can eat a whole bowl of those edamame. They give them to you at some of the restaurants, and I can sit and eat a whole bowl of those. Have you had them?
No.
No? Oh, you'd like them, Tony, because you like healthy stuff.
Wow.
Nash, nibble, and dip away. And it's called the Karma Chow, the Ultimate Cookbook. So if you're looking for something healthy, it's got all kinds of things in here. It's got stuffed mushroom peppers, tomato artichoke, bruschetta, pasta and meatballs, burgers and chipotle mayo.
You know, a lot of times when people ask you, well, what do you eat? Well, believe it or not, you can go to any health food store, any library, and pick up any book on healthy cooking or healthy eating, and you'll have enough recipes for 5 generations.
Okay, then we've got the new milks. 100+ dairy-free recipes for making and cooking with soy, nut, seed, grain, and coconut milk. So that's another thing that you can add to your repertoire here.
Yeah.
Whether you're paleo, vegan, lactose intolerant, kosher, or just plain adventurous, your non-dairy options now encompass far more than soy, coconut, and almond milk. But let's see what they have here. Baked almond and cinnamon steel-cut oatmeal with warm berry compote. They don't necessarily have the pictures so available in here. Oh, here's one. This is strawberry buttermilk sherbet.
Ooh, that looks good.
That's I had a buttermilk pie from Texas one time that was just delicious. This is interesting though. It's made out of coconut milk, red wine vinegar, strawberries, agave nectar, vanilla extract, and kosher salt. Well, that's a lot healthier than most ice creams and sherbets.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't even see sugar in here. It's just the sweetness, I guess, from the strawberries and vanilla extract.
And usually a lot of these allergies and issues that people have with dairy are usually because of pasteurized dairy. A lot of them that if they had just raw milk, which is kind of hard to get, but you can get it through a lot of co-ops, that it's actually delicious. And
There's
of course,
apple cobbler with golden raisins and nuts. All different kinds of options. Making me hungry. We should have a restaurant here again.
we're overdue for that one of
Yeah,
those.
we're overdue for. Okay, then we've got this book. If you would hold this up for me so they can get a picture of it. Stopping the Noise in Your Head, The New Way to Overcome Anxiety and Worry by Reed Wilson, PhD. Let's see. It addresses how worry can be an important asset when it forces our attention on problem solving, but anxious worrying can cause us to unnecessarily focus on threat, to retreat, to avoid, and to seek reassurance and safety, which is no way to foster a life of growth and excitement. This is his 5th published book, Groundbreaking Paradoxical Approach to Overcoming Anxiety and Worry by Moving Away from Comfort, Confidence, and Security and Willingly Moving Toward Uncertainty. That's different.
Stopping the noise.
Different
Stopping
approach,
the
yeah.
noise in your head. That's good for people with anxiety. Okay, this was actually from something at the Chicago Yacht Club in Morocco when they had a Moroccan party. Chicago Yacht Club is a nice place to go if you have a yacht, or if you don't, you can join for social reasons too. Okay, let's see. Oh, my own book, Nurses on Our Own, is still available. It's the story of Joy Smith-Catterson and myself, Karon White-Gibson, along with Patricia Skalka, and are opening the first independent nursing practice corporation in the United States to service people in their homes, whether they were the middle class and they just had insurance, and because before that only the wealthy or the poor could get nurses at home. But it talks about our experiences in the hospital, in business, in amusement parks, in court against the hospital who terminated us because we had an outside interest which did not interfere with our jobs. And they did settle with us on the court steps. And as a matter of fact, it was in federal court, and the case was Gibson and Catterson versus Christ.
Wow.
Christ Hospital, but it's not Christ. So Nurses on Our Own is a story, but you know, it's not a story just for nurses. It's really a story for people, nurses or not, and men or women, because we had to overcome a tremendous amount of obstacles to create the business. And people tried in a lot of ways to stop us from helping people, but they didn't stop us. So if you're interested in that, or if you know somebody's going into nursing, they might want to read this, Nurses on Our Own.
Karon, that's worth repeating, because why don't you reiterate to the audience that you were the first nurse to start that business in the nation.
That's right.
That is phenomenal.
Well, you know, I was kind of forced to do it in a way because my partner, my business partner, actually hurt her leg. She was 8.5 months pregnant. She dropped a toilet tank cover and it gashed her leg, and she needed all kinds of problems and skin grafts and everything. She also had 3 little kids. I tried to get other nurses to help me to go and take care of her dressing because it was a sterile dressing. She couldn't reach it, and they didn't want to do it for liability reasons. The social worker said if she was really poor or really rich, I could get somebody. Middle class, you can't get anybody. But I found out that her insurance would cover it. I did not bill her insurance for it, but I told her, as soon as I get you well, we're going to go into this business because there's a lot of people in the middle class that need this.
Yes.
And we proved that to be true because a lot of people in the middle class did use our services. But the business branched into other things too. We had people in our office for blood tests and things that their doctors ordered. We worked on movie sets like Dr. Detroit, Risky Business, Mr. T's movie, and many other things with Robert Young and Drew Barrymore, and occupational health at different locations that were far from hospitals. So we got to do all different kinds of things. on trains, planes, cruises. I had nurses everywhere.
That's amazing. That really is amazing. And
Yeah.
considering that it's the first one, you had to pioneer all these different areas to find out where the services were required
Well,
and
and one
needed.
of the, and at McCormick Place and at Old Chicago Amusement Park, but one of the things was prior to that, and even during that time, it was unethical to advertise. We couldn't advertise our services.
Wow.
So we had to rely on people like the newspaper. People Magazine did a story on us, the Sun-Times, the Tribune. They did do stories on us. The news came out and things like that. But to put an ad in the paper, we weren't
Couldn't
even
do
allowed
it.
to do that.
It's
So,
like lawyers now advertise where before that wasn't
Yeah,
an ethical thing
right.
to do.
and it had to be, you know, word of mouth and doing things for people and home care. And anyway, it worked out. She kind of went in another direction after a few years because she had 4 kids. So then it was totally me.
Sure.
Day and night for many years. Many years. Okay, rub-a-dub-dub is cancer in your tub. I found this to be a pretty interesting thing about
Wow.
all the different things that are in our, you know, in our food, the preservatives, and you know a lot about that, the preservatives and stuff. What's that tub of antifreeze doing in this picture with shampoo, deodorant, cosmetics, lotions, and toothpaste? The question you should be asking is, what's an antifreeze doing in my shampoo, my deodorant, my cosmetics, lotions, and toothpaste?
Yeah, well, they also say, you know, your kitchen sink is one of the
Dirtiest,
places in your household.
dirtier than your toilet. That's what they say. They swab them.
Wow.
There's propylene glycol may be absorbed through the skin. Studies have shown systemic retention and residue throughout. If you really need to wait for a study, here we go again. What's
That's
this?
pretty dirty.
That is.
Products in that picture have not been proven to cause cancer or disease. All these products contain sodium lauryl sulfate or sodium lauryl sulfate, and so do hundreds of other personal care. That's in a lot of shampoos, I think.
And skincare products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you use for shampoo if you avoid all this stuff?
There's a product that I've used from a health food store for years, Dr. Bonner's. It's made out of olive oil, and it's a liquid soap, and I just put it in a squeeze bottle, and it works very nicely.
Well, it says this, it's a good degreaser, but it's very bad for you. Can help eat grease off of concrete.
Wow,
Wow, that's scary.
that's pretty acidic.
Okay. Anyway, there's all kinds of information, and it says it's not getting any better. From 65 to 82, over 4 million distinct clinical compounds have been made, formulated, created. Unbelievable. We're breathing in this all the time.
Yeah, and believe it or not, I heard the other day on one of the talk shows, this gentleman called in, and he was explaining that we were going through the 5th stage of the global challenge. And the way he was explaining it is that the initial, he was talking about the toxins in the oceans, so that the first stage of life, which is the organisms in the algae in the bottom of the oceans, that is the fundamental beginning of food resources for man and life. And that he said that part is being toxified with the pesticides and with the plastics that have been in the ocean for years. So we need to clean up our oceans for future.
Well, I know at one time I was in California and they were taking us on a tour, and they said, you know what, that they were throwing excrement in Mexico. They were throwing it into the ocean. It was floating up to California, which they had to put a stop to too. What is this? Did we do that?
We didn't do this. This is another emotional aspect of health, self-taught for a calmer you. It just explains every day millions of people struggle with anxious thoughts and feelings of dread, but you don't have to be one of them. With self-taught for a calmer you, you can change the way you approach your worries and finally break free from tight grip of anxiety. Filled with practical advice and positive self-taught scripts, this empowering guide provides a variety of strategies for dealing with uneasy thoughts in a constructive manner. Self-taught, and that's Beverly
That's good, by Beverly D. Flaxington, the human behavior coach. Self-talk. Okay, Tony, we've got about 5 minutes left, and I wanted you to talk about your recent experience as a naturopath having to undergo surgery for a traumatic injury that started when you were a kid and then was exacerbated by your overuse
Yes.
in exercise over the years.
Well, it was quite an experience, and I have a great deal of respect of surgeons and for doctors that handle and deal with trauma. I had a hip injury, and I had to have a hip replacement. Tried every other variety of alternative procedures before then, including acupuncture and stem cell injections and chiropractic. Tried them all, and those are all great modalities, but they weren't something that could solve my problem. So I had the surgery within the last 30 days, and it was an overwhelming experience. I don't wish that on anybody. If you have to have it done, fine. If I would do everything to try to prevent it, if you can.
And you did try everything.
And I've tried everything, and I've stretched it out over 5 years before I decided to go ahead with it. But the surgery itself and the surgeon was wonderful. But the trauma of surgery itself is just overwhelming. And the medications that they've used today were just overwhelming to me. And I had to ask to take me off of them, because they created all kinds of side effects that we hear on TV when they explain different things that you can take, that they seemingly make it think that it's not too much, but it's really overwhelming when they say it could cause heart attacks or heart failure or kidney failure. They're not kidding, because these are very strong things, and to be very cautious with taking those. So I was able to get off of those and deal with the pain, which was just overwhelming. But we worked my way through it, and unfortunately I was able to go to rehab center, Marion Joy here in Chicago, which is an excellent rehab center. And then they had you going 3 times a day to physical therapy and keeping track of you and checking your blood pressure, and that was 24-hour a day for about 7-8 days. And then from that point on, I was home for a week with the nurse coming twice a week, so that was 2 weeks. She came twice. And then I had physical therapists come 3 times a week and did exercises at home. And I'm on my feet and moving. I still have, as the medical doctor had told me, that usually this is a 2 to 4 month experience to where you'll really be flying. And he says, just be patient and keep doing what we need to do.
Yeah, because we want to see you dancing again, but you are walking more even, stuff like that.
Yes, it's coming along.
But you know, I recently had a relative in the hospital, in and out of the hospital for many things, and I'll tell you, there were times I had to call in and get the doctor to get in there to take him off a certain medication because he was getting so drowsy he couldn't even eat, and falling asleep while eating. People can choke. I mean, you have to be very diligent in medications and how they react on people, and different people react differently to them. So some people can breeze through it, other people can't. And there's all kinds of things that can happen to you, and you have to watch to see, because you have to tell them, take them off of this if it's some kind of an adverse reaction.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that can vary very widely, the reactions that people can have from these things. And of course there's issues of blood clotting and things that they have to give you that help prevents that, and that's mainly from being in there and having surgery. And they also have to deal with the respiratory effect of being in the hospital, and that you might be getting pneumonia or getting some breathing issues while you're in there. So they check with you every day. So it's quite an experience.
It's nice that Marion Joy has private rooms. That's a very nice part of it.
That was very nice. Yeah,
because you have your own bathroom and your own room.
Yes, and then the people there are just really caring nurses and practitioners.
Okay, so any last comment you want to make on any of this stuff? Don't forget, ladies, to get your husband or boyfriend or whatever a groove ring, because they can't complain that it's metal and it's going to catch on something the same way.
And he
as it
would
does.
be in the groove.
Yeah, or getting electrocuted or anything like that because it's not metal. And if you want to get your makeup or dirt off of your face, we've got that Momo up,
Cleaner.
M-O-M-O
Yeah.
up.
And I like that it's a finger cut. That really makes it easier to use.
Yeah, it's always amazing to me. You can even wash your face and then use one of those on top and you still get dirt off.
Yeah.
And like I said, just walking around every day is you're getting dirt on your face.
Oh, yes.
And don't forget about Salon Pas for pain relief patches. So,
Very good.
Mary is a school nurse, and she just learned about proactive.org, which is a weight loss program on another show that's a free program that happens several times a year for kids all over Chicago and the suburbs. It's a free program that's being affiliated with schools and hospitals and all different kinds of things. So it's something you might want to look up to see about your kids. What did you think of that, Mary?
Oh, I thought it was great, you know, for the continuity of care and just to educate the kids on the importance of portion sizes, eating healthy, and really getting the parents involved. It makes such a difference when everybody works together.
What did you think, what's the biggest thing a school nurse does? I've never been a school nurse.
What a school nurse does really is to help, you know, preventative care, help the kid get through the day safely, really just as a support staff to the school, you know, but really, you know, going out into the public and helping kids to make better choices is so important early on.
Well, you sent one of our kits that we had on the show that was for epinephrine and adrenaline and stuff like that. Did you send them on a field trip with something in case one of the kids had an allergic reaction?
Yes, they have these kits for kids with allergies that have, there's a little fun like a pack and bracelets that alert, you know, the public that this kid has an allergy to peanuts or
'Cause
whatever.
that can kill you fast.
Yeah, that can,
I remember one time my youngest brother, we had him on a trip in Washington, D.C., and he had an allergic reaction to something, and he started to swell up. I mean, his head just started to swell up, his face, and I knew his throat would be next because that's what happens. It cuts
Yes.
off your breathing. And I took him into an urgent care center, and I went right past everybody. I said, he needs adrenaline right now. You can't wait with these things because
Wow.
you have to, or the person will die.
Yes.
I mean, it can happen from bee stings and peanuts and all kinds of things.
Yes.
So I guess we're running out of time now, so we're going to have to wrap this up in just 1 minute. And I hope that all of these different little tips that we come up with in different products that you may not have seen anywhere are helpful to you, because some people suffer in pain and don't know where to go or what to try. And when these new products come out and they have been tried and tested, it's a very good thing to know about, particularly Salon Pas. A lot of people have leg pain, back pain, all kinds of pains, and it's very difficult to live in pain. So you don't want that. Or if you want to self-talk to a calmer you, which is a good thing for all of us these days because it's a very fast world that we live in. And something you might want to do. So I'd like to thank Mary mcFall, who's a registered nurse and a school nurse, and she's also an esthetician, by the way, so that's another reason we wanted her to know about these facial cleaning things. And Dr. Tony Koufos, who is available as a naturopath, a reflexologist, and an iridologist. So you can also look him up at pathtonaturalhealth.com. That's pathtonaturalhealth.com. And Mary, are you still on the web as a esthetician also? You'd have to email me at asktvnurse@yahoo.com if you wanted to talk to Mary. So thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank
And thank
you.
you